I used to do a yearly retrospective on my own blog. Then I eventually got tired of it, considering that there haven't been too many exciting and positive things happening to me these past years. But since I'm blogging now, I figured maybe it's time to resurrect the tradition. At least gives me a chance to reflect on some key life events and try to look forward to something given the new year. After the shitstorm that was 2020, the year of the first lockdowns, I remember everyone was trying to be optimistic for 2021. In hindsight, we probably know now that it was just more of the same, perhaps worse for some, considering the anxiety of being cooped up at home for extended periods of time. Let me start with the downers. Got plenty of bad news last year, especially about the people that we lost, and these are the ones that were close to the heart. Last March, we lost our house help from acute leukemia. At first, we thought it was COVID, turned out way worse. We always treat our help as family, so we really took the loss hard. And we still grieve for her, in a way, even after all these months. We also lost Dr. Frank Flores, and Sir Frank was one of my mentors in the English Studies program in UP. He and his late wife, Prof. May Flores, served as my inspiration in sticking with the language program, teaching, and pursuing a graduate degree in language studies. So may they rest in peace. Just before the year ended, we also lost Tito Juni, who was my sister's best friend's dad and a good friend to our late mom. Tito Juni always provided that, brand of kulit and reassurance you should have expected from blood-related Tito but never got. So his loss was a pretty sad one for us as well. Other than these, there were a few other highlights to my year. The kid finished junior nursery last May, and due to some reshuffling of age cutoffs, she skipped senior nursery and started kinder immediately last August. Our school experience with her suddenly got accelerated. So the 2 years that we should have enjoyed her being in nursery got compressed into just 1 year, and now we're dealing with kinder right now. What else? June, I got my first dose of vaccine against COVID, and slots were pretty scarce back then. So I was pretty lucky to have gotten a shot, let alone a Pfizer one. It was supposed to finally give me the courage to venture out and resume my attempts in, doing all sorts of ventures. But then came the Delta scare just a week after I got my second dose, um, in July. Since we still had unvaccinated people at home at that time, I just decided to, hit pause on everything and abort mission. By then, it was pretty tempting to just hunker down and hibernate and just shut the world out. But I had to be productive somehow and found a bit of success in that. I added something to my cooking repertoire by learning how to make siopao. I love siopao. Too bad I ate a lot of the siopao that I made, and that it's got to account for about 10 to 15 of my 40 overweight pounds. Whew. Anyway, I also toyed around with the idea of getting back into language studies by attending a series of webinars and lectures on corpus linguistics and digital humanities from a stretch between July up until August, I think. And I realized I was actually among the local pioneers in these fields, since I experimented with, corpus linguistics and applying them to English language studies here in the Philippines as early as the late 2000s. Then I realized that the effort I need to invest to get myself back up to speed, considering that I haven't been in the game for a good 6 or 7 years, that it's going to be a major career decision. Like if I go back, that means I should be focused on that alone for the next several years. And I don't know if I'm at that point of my life yet that I think I want to try out plenty of other things before I make that kind of decision. What else? Okay, the perpetual devil on my shoulder, one of my best friends, Jojo, also got me into figures and kit bashing, what most people would call, action figures and toys. And it turned out to be quite the very expensive hobby. Though those things aren't cheap. And once you get hooked, the bug will get you. Um, since I wasn't able to shoot people, I tried, practicing my photography, shooting these little silicone analogs instead. And it was fun. But probably one of my New Year's resolutions would be to hit pause on these things. It was fun though. Okay. What else? December. December was probably the most exciting month of 2021. I finally got my first big-ish shooting gig as a photographer. It was for a product endorsement shoot. And I got to shoot Miss Maui Taylor, no less. That was nice. For the longest time, I've been shooting as a hobbyist. So this was a big step for me. I just might finally push to turn pro this year if things go well. Okay. After 2 years of being cooped up, the family also risked venturing out. And we took that long delayed out of town trip that we have been planning, supposedly on a yearly basis prior to the pandemic. We stayed at the Oreo Resort in La Union for some beach and outdoor fun. It was a fun 3 days. Unfortunately, now we're having a bit of a scare considering the Omicron surge. Because, that girl in the news who skipped quarantine and infected some other people. I think a couple of her close contacts were in La Union at the time that we were there. So, I don't know. At least we didn't get out of the hotel the time that we were there. So hopefully we did not contract anything. Thankfully, no one's experiencing symptoms yet. And I hope it stays that way. Okay, so this leads me now to try to look forward to something in 2022. Like most New Year's resolutions, there would be that weight loss and health thing going. The thing is, I'm not getting any younger, and I know that I'm feeling those getting old health issues already. So I'd like to really get fitter and healthier this year. I like to shed at least half of the overweight pounds that I have within the year. What else? I'd like to pursue some of the things that I realize that I like photography and creating content. So hopefully, things go well. I'd be able to pursue them more in 2022. But we're on semi-lockdown again with plenty of restrictions back. So we'll see. Just 6 days into the new year, and it seems like things might get worse. I just hope they don't. And we'll see for next few days and weeks what will be in store for us. But all we got to do is be hopeful, I guess, that 2022 wouldn't be as shit as 2021. And that's it. Thanks.